No. I can tell you.
First order of business. I have put two pieces of paper in front of you. If you would like to vote for chairman first.
Do I get more than one vote? Because I have 3 pieces.
Wouldn't have anybody but Bob.
Always somebody got to cheat the system. Huh?
You know, that's when I dropped them. Did you pick it up the floor?
No,
No, okay.
no,
I have a
2.
third one as well, Jan, so we'll save it for next time.
Might
That's
be
a
a
good
tie
idea.
and you gotta vote
You need
again.
money low.
We rip them in half with your vote points.
Well, I tried to give everybody a separate piece of paper. It's unanimous. Mr. Perkins is your chairman. You have another piece of paper there to vote on vice, please. Dana, you are our vice chair. Congratulations to the two of you.
First item tonight is to approve minutes held from December 28th.
I'd make a motion, we approve those minutes on the warrant.
Motion made second, all in favor? Next one we've already done, next one's to consider taking over Sheldon Lane.
Okay, so I sent everybody a copy of contractual agreement to conditional road acceptance of Sullivan Lane. I actually have Ed in here and it's Sister Diane to answer any questions and kind of explain why we're looking to get this thing accepted before the road is complete. The road was complete, but we found some deficiencies. Boyd, Stowe, Jeff Hall was up with Ed and Diane, took the road over. What happened, we had a big rainstorm, so it kind of exposed a lot of things that probably could be worked on. So having said that, I'm actually going to turn the floor over to Ed to explain as to why we're doing a conditional road acceptance this early and not waiting until we can do it this spring.
Well, basically, the problem is
Can
what
you speak up a little?
basically, the problem is legally, because of my father passing away, we've got to push it through because I don't honestly know the technical terms of it, to be honest with you, but they're pushing us. They wanted it done before we even start. They said, you gotta get it done tomorrow. We were there and told them it was impossible. Diane and I both did, but we did get the stuff done. The major problem is when the paver paved, he lost the crown in the lower section, headed out towards Sawtell Road. I couldn't remember which it was. And we've come with it. Jeff, I, and Boyd have come up with a proposal and agreed upon trimming the center, grinding it, and then putting the crown back in it. Now that section of road, to be honest with you, never had a surface coat on. Dad put the base on, but he never, when he patched the finished off deer end, it should have gone down and around, but there was no homes on it. And prior to the home being built, there was a written thing with the council that we would not put the surface on until the majority of the homes were built, so it wouldn't scuff up the pavement, and ruin the pavement. And so that's why I didn't get, and to be honest with you, I didn't notice it the first trip we did a section and of Selden Lane, otherwise I would have lied. So that's that area, and then there's a catch basin on Deer Run, Sheldon Lane corner, that when they paved it in, they weren't paying attention and they put too much mix in it, so it's creating water to cross over the intersection. Since we found that error out, we have had the paver come in. He can't resurface it this year right there, but he ground it so that the water would funnel to the basin now. And then come spring, when he patches that lower section, he'll take care of the upper section. The two catch basins that are in the right of way, one on Sheldon Lane, 2/3 of the way up. It drains the water from the backside and goes into your under drain system. But when that water came all in, it capped over with the leaves and whatnot, and it ran it out into the street. And during our discretion for both of them, Jeff Hall, this road person, suggested us taking the frames, breaking them free from the actual concrete work, and put bricks on four corners so that it gives it a better flow in rather than a grate, because it wouldn't seal the leaves off as much. The leaves wouldn't seal it off, and I have no problem taking it. That's one of the issues. And there's one other little spot up on top that we need to create a different swale out on it, because the water naturally runs towards that road, but towards Sheldon Lane, but they want us to put it into the upper ditch that we had created to help slow the flow down. That's 20 minutes with an excavator to do the square.
The main reason to put that, the push on this is that the estate attorneys have basically told us that they wanted the trusts, our, for lack of a better word, conditional trusts from my father's death. And they should be closed out as soon as possible. They wanted them to try to close out within a year of his death, and that was October 9th, which we still had properties up in Carriagewood that needed to be sold and so forth. And we sold the last lot in the end of December, so.
December 28th.
So that's the reason for the push on it.
So the agreement that we made or we talked about was for him to put, for the managers to put $15,000 into a fund be held at Camden National Bank. Boyd and Jeff both estimated that that's more than enough to cover any of the repairs that need to be done. And with, as you read through the contract, the deadline date for completion would be July 31st, 2023, or a mutually agreed date after that because of unforeseen circumstances. To which that case, if Ed completes the work and it's to the satisfaction of the town, Boyd's inspection and Jeff's inspection and mine, then we'll release the funds to the vendors. I really feel that we're covered in this. I mean, we've highlighted out all of the deficiencies that was found. And I think that, you know, the fact that we've been working with the Mantor family for as long as I've been town employee. And I don't think the town has ever had a bad set of circumstances with any of them. I think that, you know, of any family, we should probably count on the fact that they're gonna stand up to their word. The other issue that we have up there, there's a handicapped child who lives up there, and Jeff's concerned that if the town of Oakland doesn't maintain that road in the wintertime, and a private company does, then it might not be plowed to the satisfaction or to the degree we can get Delta up in here to transport this kid. So I think there's a lot of circumstances that are kind of in play here, and that certainly I would recommend that we honor this contractual agreement.
David, does Selden Lane also include the left off in Selden, which is Woodstock?
Woodstock, yes.
Across the top, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Selden and the left off.
And that's
on
mentioned
the
in here,
Woodstock.
just a tiny little short section on Woodstock.
So it's
And
less
look
than a
at that.
mile of coverage, probably a mile.
I don't even.
Not
know
only it even covers a mile.
Quarter of a mile, I would think,
I mean, the whole thing.
yeah. So every lot on Selden Lane has been built on, so we are generating a lot of property taxes coming in from that section. If it was somebody else that we didn't know, I'd be a little cautious on this, but I think that Mantis.
Dan?
I think you said that Boyd and Jeff have both gone over this, so they agree that we can handle it.
We met with them right at the properties
And walk the whole.
and walked it
The other.
prior to meeting with Ella.
In the last paragraph is a protective clause that we've built in here, that if the work is not completed by July 31st, unless a date's been mutually agreed upon, then the town of Oakland will retain the $15,000 to cover the work and to return or pay for any legal fees that would cost us to return the land back to the Mantle Trust. So I don't think anybody wants that.
There's a little discussion last meeting in regards to the turnarounds and the gate. Does, our road that I live on, we had to jump through so many hoops to have the turnarounds approved. Are those satisfactory for buses, plows, emergency vehicles on all areas to turn around?
The turnarounds on the Woodstock and off of Sullivan Lane is not an issue. The issue that we're currently experiencing right now is the turnaround that's on the other end of Woodstock, which is the Allagash end. We lost the turnaround, as you heard, on the end of Allagash. I'm not sure, and this was 20 years ago this took place. I'm not sure that that was legal the way it happened. But with the turnaround that we're currently using, there was a gate that was put up across that. And the gate I've discovered is actually on the town's property. So that gate is going to be moved, but I have not had that family in to talk with them yet. This is going to happen very shortly.
I just want to make sure that our plow trucks, which I heard has been happening, have to back up to get out,
That backing up has happened for the past 20 years.
but it shouldn't.
It
I
should,
guess that's what I'm
but
saying.
but it is.
There
And
should be
if we
turnarounds.
legally don't have that turnaround on the end, we can't remedy that.
Somebody goofed in 20 years ago, we should have bought it a little bit more, but we had no.
Well, we were, I guess the reason I'm a little bit concerned, we were 20 years ago, the exact same situation. We had roads going both ways. We had a turnaround of a certain dimension at the end of both dead ends.
And on Selden Lane, Woodstock thing, it does have it.
And I believe in the deed, that particular deed, it does talk to a turnaround. It just wasn't,
Well, it was at first when the town said
it
it,
was there.
with
but-
Dad, we had painted it.
Yeah.
There, and
So-
then when he sold the lot, I don't know what went on, but all at once, the owner of the lot came and talked to the town and they agreed to use the
Woodstock.
north end of Woodstock as the turnaround. I don't know if it was just a verbal thing, I have no idea, but I know for at least 20 or more years, that has been, the Woodstock has been the turnaround. I actually think it was at the beginning of Jeff Higgins when he was the road commissioner, but I can't vouch for it. The biggest reason that gate got put on Woodstock from the new owners is they were having too many four-wheelers and snowmobilers and mainly the four-wheelers and motorcycles, dirt bikes up there. They were just tearing stuff up and they didn't want it to be any more. I mean, they ended up we ended up one year finding a four-wheel drive pickup up in there. They made ruts like this. The new owners don't want it. I don't blame them. I would. I didn't. I went up and graded it off later with a bulldozer when it kept drying up.
Ed, can I ask a question? There's a couple of problems. It just, so we make sure we do this right, is that here on this paper here, it says Selden Lane, Seldon. And here we have it as Sheldon, Seldon. Is it Sheldon or Sheldon?
It's
Is it
Seldon,
DEN?
L-S-E-L-D-O-N.
Okay, I just see what I'm saying.
Yeah, the map.
I just want to make sure. Well, no,
Yeah.
I don't honestly know, to be honest. It's my grandfather's
My
name.
grandfather's name, however that was spelled.
We can double check it.
I just want to make sure if it's a contract.
This one's
Wasn't it
D-E-N.
DEN?
D-E-N
Yeah, and
is
on
what
here
it
we have
says on
DOF.
is what it says on the deed.
Okay, then I need to correct this then.
Don't want to get caught up. Any other questions?
I'd make a motion, we accept this contractual agreement on Selden Lane after that fee is put in it.
I'm gonna get you to, continue on, I'm sorry.
I'd make a motion, we accept this contract.
We have a second. Second by Mr. Nutting. All in favor?
I thank you very much.
So I'm gonna get you to sign this contract as written, and I'll make a correction, and I'll just initial the correction, instead of having to gather you all together, that way we can get them moving. We need to set up that account.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
You tell me when I'm working tomorrow, Thursday.
I won't be in the office till 10 o'clock in the morning, after, anytime after that,
Can I do it in the afternoon after work?
absolutely, you certainly can.
I have like 3 tours.
We have passed that down to right now. Ellen, with their
We got
own-
one coming. Got one
Okay, you've got one coming. Yeah, perfect.
And do you want me to give you this original now?
Yes, and that's fine, I'll get that over.
One other subject that I'll let all of you people know. All those other roads on in Carrington State have never been turned over to the town. They will be along with this, the deeds.
Have you sold all those lots now? They all sold?
Yeah, we sold it all as a single parcel on Woodstock. But she brought it up that she couldn't find the deeds for Allagash Drive, Deer Run. So we did a little research, town accepted them, but we never forwarded the paperwork for it back then. So we are gonna send the paperwork along with it.
It's
Oh,
it's all in that one deed.
Okay, it's all on the same deeds for that, protect everybody at this point. Sorry, I didn't bring my glasses.
And then tomorrow, I'll copy that as well.
My office tomorrow will take care of everything.
You can have it.
I got it. Slow, but I do.
23.
Yeah, 23.
All good?
Good,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, we've got one more item on there. So you've got a copy of a grant that the fire department won. We just received notice on this just the other day, and so we tucked it into this meeting. The grant's for $1,752.63. It's a matching grant, so that means that the town is going to have to match that $1,752. The fire chief, Chief Coughlin, plenty of room in the budget, and so what he was planning on doing was just to use his budget money to match that. And as you can see, it's for a list of items. I think that probably Dave has some information on that, maybe that I don't have, but
Yeah, it's just forestry equipment.
and this was actually written by 2 of our new staff members here, so they're off and running. And all we need is an acceptance vote from our council for this.
I have a question first. Do they accept present budget money rather than new money?
Yes.
Different than most of these grants we get, they want new
Yeah,
money.
this one here, we can use the money out of our current budget.
I'd make a motion, we accept this grant.
Mission Moore, second by Dave. All in favor?
And Jan has 2 more items to discuss.
So we finished up the sewer bills today. I would need the council to sign a sewer commitment. It's for the user period October, November, and December. It's $138,530.01. So we do this quarterly and you all sign that. Please.
If we do, we don't need to vote on that.
I would like to.
I'd make a motion, we accept that too, right? Fine.
Second by Mr. Bowman, all in favor?
And also, the American Legion, every year, they have to apply for games of chance at the Legion. So we have a form that they're gonna be sending in, and we always give a blanket letter of approval so that they can conduct their cribbage and all the things that they do there. So we have a form that I would like the council to sign, and just noting that we have given them the blanket letter of approval, which will expire in December of 23. The yearly thing that we've been doing. And I would need a motion on that one also.
I'd make a motion, we grant them the.
Amusement.
for
Blanket, yeah,
Blanket
blanket letter of
of
approval for
chance.
game of chance.
Motion made, second by David, all in favor? Budget dates.
We should have a copy. I think they have it tomorrow.
She's not doing a good job.
Oh, you had none? Did
That's all I have.
you have anything else? Ben?
I did. We're all set.
I don't,
David, did you have anything? Bob?
I don't.
What's that? Did you have anything?
Oh, gosh, no.
Well, thank you for coming. David.
Thank you for having me.
No,
Yeah, I appreciate this opportunity.
I just didn't know the first time we seen you in, but you're more than welcome to come anytime.
Well, that's, I may.
And if you have anything, what we like to do is we like to hand it to the town manager.
Right.
And town manager will put it on the agenda. So generally speaking, now we said last year that we weren't gonna go with anybody, and that way the town manager can get it, give us the advisory on it. And for them, with that being said, I have nothing. David,
I make a motion, we adjourn.
all in favor? Thank you for that.